Hi, I am Dr. Mary Wansley, and I am speaking to you today from my office in Los Angeles, California. I am an eating and weight loss specialist. People come to me when they struggle with emotional overeating, binge eating, yo-yo dieting. They've been on and off diets for years, and they're just sick of it. They come to me, and I train them how to eat. I give them a new way to think about eating. A permanent approach to weight loss. I'm going to talk to you today about something that's really important. The excuses and the justifications and the rationalizations we tell ourselves that give us permission to eat just about anything, anytime, whether we're hungry or not hungry. So over the years, I've listened a lot, and I've collected a lot of excuses that people give themselves to eat. And I'm going to share them with you so that you can be really aware when you're doing this. There are a lot of people, many people, who eat when they're not physically hungry, some more than others. And our bodies are not designed to eat when we're not physically hungry. I mean, think about an infant. An infant finishes a bottle and they'll throw the bottle. Or think about feeding a child in its high chair, and you try to give that child one more bite and they start turning their head, and pretty soon you stop because you've got a big mess on your hands. But when we eat and we're not physically hungry, it makes our bodies feel stuffed. It brings about feelings of guilt and remorse. And then might suddenly become a really good idea to go on a diet. And diets fail us, let us down every time. So I'm going to expose the thoughts that we have that allow us to rationalize, to justify, and to minimize the long-term effects of it, or even the short-term effects of it. So here are some of the endless excuses people use to put food in their mouths when they're not hungry. It looks good and everybody else is eating. I don't know when I'll get to have this again. Oh, I haven't had that in such a long time. It's one of my favorite foods. How could I possibly pass that up? I've never tried that before. I don't want to miss out. I don't want to make other people who are eating feel uncomfortable. Oh, it's fresh right out of the oven, like chocolate chip cookies or freshly baked bread. Just makes your mouth water, but you're not hungry. I don't want it to go to waste. I was taught not to waste. It's wasteful not to eat everything on my plate. The waiter or the waitress or the host or the hostess will think I didn't like my food if I don't eat it. It looks so good. It smells so good. Oh, it's going to taste so good. It doesn't really matter. A few bites won't hurt. It'll help me feel better. I'm having a bad day. I'll eat it now, and I'll cut back later in the day, or I'll cut back tomorrow, or I'll start a diet tomorrow. I'll exercise a little bit harder. I'll just have this little extra food, and then I'll work out harder and I'll burn it off. There are starving children in the world. As if you eating extra food is going to impact starving children in another country. How we ever believe this is beyond me. Think about it. The Clean Plate Club. Okay. I think I bought into that one when I was growing up. There is no club. Google it. Look it up. There's no Clean Plate Club. Women, I hear this all the time. It's this time in my cycle. Well, part of that, maybe they're feeling low or lethargic, but that need to eat is really a desire to feel better, and that extra food does not make anybody feel better. It's just an excuse. A real big one is, it's my birthday, it's a holiday, a special day, like the Super Bowl. Everybody eats more during the holidays because they can always go on a diet, have that be the New Year's resolution in January. Tomorrow I'll get it together. Tomorrow's a new day. I want to make sure I get my fair share. I hear this often when I work with clients who come from large families. I deserve it. I need a treat. I need a reward. It's a celebration. Maybe you eat one bite of something and you say to yourself, I blew it, so screw it. I already messed up. I just as well go ahead and eat everything I want. I wasn't losing any weight anyway. It's in my genes. It's genetic. I don't want to feel deprived. I'm a foodie. Now think about that whole idea of being a foodie. People identifying themselves as a foodie. It's in vogue to be a foodie, a connoisseur of food. I mean, you can still like food, but when somebody labels themselves a foodie and they really believe it and they're standing in front of food and they believe they're a foodie, sure, it's pretty easy to justify making the excuse to eat. Somebody brings you something special. Oh, somebody made you something special or brings you something special and you feel obligated to eat it. Or maybe you say to yourself, I'm tired, I've had a long day, I need something just for me. Food will give me some extra energy. Or I worked out so hard, I should be able to have more of this. I should be able to have whatever I want. People who are dieting or restricting or on some kind of cleanse or something might say to themselves, I was dieting for an event, now I lost the weight, and it's over. I can eat whatever I want now, and they just go crazy. Or they see food, they've been on a diet, they really want to eat that, and they say to themselves, you know what, I wasn't losing enough weight, wasn't losing any weight anyway, I'm going to have it. I'll start my diet tomorrow, I'll start on Monday, I'll start on New Year. One bite or two won't hurt. It's really the only thing I have control of, the only thing I have for myself. And then there are emotional reasons that we turn to food and eat when we're not physically hungry. We often think that turning to food is going to solve a problem, but what happens is it causes a problem. So if we have one problem, something going on in our lives that's bothersome, troublesome, upsetting, and then we turn to food, we actually have two problems. We feel stuffed, we have remorse, regret, guilt, and then we need to regain control and lose weight. So if you're making excuses to eat when you're not physically hungry, you're justifying, you're rationalizing, you're minimizing the effect it's going to have on you, stop. Recognize that the hunger is coming from your head and from your mouth and not coming from your stomach or your body. That extra food is never going to make you happy, satisfied. It's never going to help you deal with anxiety, boredom, sadness, loneliness. It's never going to relieve pressure. It's going to add more pressure, and it's never going to bring you real pleasure. Extra food, eating when you're not physically hungry, is never a good idea. If you have to justify the behavior, then you're probably not hungry. Ultimately, you won't feel happy, you'll feel unhappy. You won't feel satisfied, you will feel dissatisfied. You won't feel comforted, you will feel physical discomfort. You won't be relieved of any anxiety. You will feel more anxious because you'll feel like you need to lose weight. And you won't be calm or comforted, you'll be frustrated. So tell yourself the truth. I'm going to give you one more little tip. The difference between true and truth. True is a version of the truth. True, that food is going to taste good for a few minutes. Might bring you a little bit of pleasure or comfort, but truth is the whole story. You're going to have one bite, maybe another bite, then you're going to feel a little discomfort and it'll throw you off for the day, and then you'll go to bed knowing that you've had that extra food that you really didn't need, and that desire to burn it off at the gym tomorrow morning will kick in. Maybe the desire to diet will kick in, and it will bring you a state of displeasure, dissatisfaction, It will not make you happy. It will make you unhappy. So, why don't you get on the bandwagon and join my clients and people in recovery who don't eat when they're not physically hungry. We have enough opportunities to eat during the day when we have our meals. I'm Dr. Mary Wansley. I hope that you will like this video. Thank you for watching.